Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this particular video, we'll be looking into Bowley's coefficient of skewness. This is again another way to find out the measure of skewness. In the previous video, we already have seen Carl Pearson's coefficient of skewness method to find out the measure of skewness. Now in this particular video, we'll see the most important way of finding out the measure of skewness. I hope you remember the definition of skewness. Here we have this given data. We have this variable which has the intervals 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and 50 to 60. We have the corresponding frequencies of the data that has occurred in this particular interval. So from 10 to 20 interval, we have 4 points. Similarly, for 20 to 30 interval, we have total 6 points from the entire data set. Similarly, we have other interval frequencies also. Now, in this particular method of finding the measure of skewness, we use the quartiles. Now, to find out the measure of skewness using the Bowley's coefficient of skewness method, we have this particular formula, that is Q3 plus Q1 minus 2m divided by Q3 minus Q1. Q3 is the third quartile of that particular distribution. Q1 is the first quartile of the distribution. M is the median of the distribution. Plugging in the values of these variables, we'll get the measure of skewness. Now, you can observe that we don't have the values of Q3, Q1 and median. We'll have to find it. Before that, we'll first find out the cumulative frequency. Now, how to find this cumulative frequency? Let's see. So for finding out the cumulative frequency, we'll have to observe the frequencies. Write the first frequency as it is in the cumulative frequency. That is 4. Now, whenever we have to find out the next cumulative frequency, we will have to add the previous cumulative frequency with the next frequency. That is 4 plus 6. So we get 10 as the next cumulative frequency. Remember the formula for finding out the next cumulative frequency, you will have to add the previous cumulative frequency with the next frequency. That is 10 plus 25, we get 35. This is the next cumulative frequency. Similarly, we'll find out the next, that is 35 plus 30, we get 65. The next cumulative frequency is 65 plus 12, that is 77. Whenever you have to check whether whatever cumulative frequency you have calculated is correct or not, you will have to check the last cumulative frequency. If this last cumulative frequency matches with the sum of the frequencies, then you are correct. So let's quickly find out the sum of frequency. And we get the sum of frequency as 77. So here you can see it matches with the last cumulative frequency. That is why we can say that we have calculated everything correctly till now. Now this cumulative frequency will be used to find out the quartiles. We'll first see the formula of Q1, that is to find out the first quartile. The formula goes like this. Q1 equals L plus N by 4 minus CF. You have to keep in mind that this entire thing is in one bracket. This entire thing is divided by F, that is the frequency. And this is multiplied by H. So this is the formula for finding the Q1, that is the first quartile. So now let's quickly find out each and every term and let's plug in the values and find out the value of Q1. Now over here you can observe that we have this term N by 4. So what is N? N we already have calculated, that is the sum of frequency, which is 77. So let's quickly find out the value of N by 4. So we can say that size of N by 4 item is, let's plug in the value for N, that is 77, and divided by 4. So 77 divided by 4 is nothing but 19.25. So here, this is the value of N by 4. Now you need to be careful in finding out the value of N by 4 because this N by 4 value will only decide the next steps. Now let's come back to this particular table. Now in this particular table, you have to observe the cumulative frequency column. In this cumulative frequency, you need to find out where this 19.25, that is the N by 4 term, lies. So here you can see this 19.25 lies somewhere between 10 and 35. You will have to choose the bigger value, that is 35. So in this particular case, our selected intervals will be this, that is corresponding to the 35 cumulative frequency. So let's choose this. Now with the help of this particular data, we can get the values of L, CF, F and H. So let's quickly find out. So let's write Q1 equals to, now what is L? L is the lowest number in the chosen interval. Now over here you can see our chosen interval is 30 to 40. So what is the least value in this? It is 30. So L will be 30 in our case for finding out Q1. Let's write 30 in place of L plus. Now we already have calculated the value of n by 4, that is 77 by 4, which is 19.25. So let's quickly write that minus. Now we have to find out the value of cumulative frequency. Now you can observe this particular corresponding interval. Here the cumulative frequency is 35. Now here in this particular formula, you will have to choose the lower cumulative frequency to the chosen one. Here in this case, 35 is the current cumulative frequency for this particular interval. So we'll have to take the previous cumulative frequency, that is 10 in this particular case. So let's take that. I hope this thing is clear. Now next is F. Now you can see in this particular chosen interval, the corresponding frequency is 25. So you will have to write the same, that is 25. Now the next is H. Here, h is nothing but the height of the interval. So to find out the interval gap, that is height, we'll have to subtract the least value from the maximum value, that is 40 minus 3. It comes out to be 10. So basically 10 is nothing but the height of this particular interval. Now we have plugged in all the values in this particular formula. We just have to calculate it now. So let's calculate the bracket part first. We get 19.25 minus 10 as 9.25 divided by 25 as it is multiplied by 10. Now the next thing that we can do is to solve this particular bracket. That is 30 plus 9.25 divided by 25 comes out to be 0.37. And this multiplied by the height, that is 10. Now if you know the BODMAS rule, with the help of that rule, you will first have to multiply. So 30 plus 0.37 multiplied by 10, it comes out to be 3.7. So 30 plus 3.7 is 33.7. So basically we have found out the value of Q1, that is 33.37. Do you want to check out this attractive funny memes? Then what are you waiting for? These are just a glimpse of the memes that I've created on my Instagram page. You can find the link to my Instagram handle in the description box. Please visit the link and do watch all these interesting funny memes. These are not just memes. These memes and reels contains technical information. Here I try to relate memes with the technological concepts. So please do appreciate that by watching all those. And if you love it, please hit the follow button. Now, basically, in this particular main formula, we already have found out the value of Q1. So Q1 is done. Now, let's try to find out the value of Q3. So Q3 is third quartile. And the formula of Q3 is something like this. L plus 3n by 4 minus CF the whole divided by F multiplied by 10. So in place of n by 4, here 3n by 4 comes when we talk about Q3, that is third quartile. Now, if you remember, we first found out the value of n by 4 in the case of first quartile. So in this particular case, we'll have to first find out the value of 3n by 4. So let's write size of 3n by 4 item is nothing but 3 multiplied by what is n? It is 77. We already have calculated it, divided by 4. So this comes out to be 57.75. So this is our 3n by 4 value. Now if you remember, after finding out n by 4, we went to the table and we found out the corresponding interval in which this cumulative frequency lies. Similarly, this time also we'll have to use this particular 3n by 4 value and we'll have to first check in between which two cumulative frequencies this particular value 3n by 4 lies. So let's come back to the table. Let me erase the previous highlights Now check this particular cumulative frequency column. You can see that 57.75 lies somewhere between this 35 and 65. So it lies somewhere between these two. We'll have to choose the cumulative frequency value which is higher than this particular value that we have got. That is 65. So 65 is the chosen cumulative frequency. We'll have to highlight this particular interval. We'll use this particular interval for the further calculations. So now this is the chosen interval. Now let's quickly find out the values of L, CF, F and the height. So our Q3 will be now L. What is L? It is the least value of the chosen interval. Now the chosen interval is 40 to 50. The least value is 40. So L will be now 40. So let's write 40 in place of L. Plus next comes 3n by 4. So we already have calculated the value of 3n by 4, that is 57.75, minus, now comes the cumulative frequency. Now here you can see the highlighted cumulative frequency or the interval is having the cumulative frequency as 65. I already told you you don't have to take the current cumulative frequency, you will have to take the previous to it, that is 35 in this particular case now. So we'll take 35 as the cumulative frequency. So now in the formula, let's write 35 as the cumulative frequency value. The whole divided by f. Now in this particular case, the chosen interval is 40 to 50 and the chosen frequency corresponding to it is 30. So let's write 30 in place of f. The whole multiplied by height. Now height of this interval is 10 again because it is 40 to 50. So 50 minus 40 is nothing but 10. Now we have all the values. Let's calculate it. We'll get 40 plus. Now the answer of this entire part comes out to be 7.5833. 40 plus 7.5833 is nothing but 47.5833. So this is the value of Q3. So now we have calculated the value of Q1 as well as we have calculated the value of Q3. Now we are left with the value of median. As you can see in the formula, we have calculated these two. We are left with finding out the median value. So now to find out the median value, we have one formula again. So let's see what exactly it is. So M is nothing but L plus. Now here N by 2 will come. N by 2 minus CF, the whole divided by F multiplied by H. Now in this case, we'll have to find out N by 2. So let's write size of N by 2th item is nothing but N in our case is 77. 77 divided by 2 is nothing but 38.5. So 38.5 is the N by 2th value. So this N by 2th value will now be used to find out the interval. So which interval will be chosen? This N by 2 value will decide now. So let me erase the previous interval part. If you remember, our N by 2th value is 38.5, which lies between 35 and 65. So we have to take the next value, that is the higher to 38.5. So that is nothing but 65. So corresponding to this particular 65 cumulative frequency, we'll have to highlight this particular interval. So our chosen interval is 40 to 50 again. So in place of L comes 40 because 40 is the least value in this particular interval. Next comes the value of N by 2. N by 2 value we already have calculated, that is 38.5 minus CF value. So CF value is nothing but 35 because the current CF value is 65. We have to take the previous one. So it is now 35. So 38.5 minus 35 divided by F. F value, that is the corresponding frequency value, is nothing but 30 of the chosen interval. So we'll write 30 multiplied by H value is nothing but 10. That is the height of the interval. So let's quickly calculate this particular thing and we'll get 40 plus. So the answer to this entire part is nothing but 1.1666. So when we add these two terms, we get 41.1666. So Our median value is 41.166. Now we have calculated the median, the Q1 and the Q3 value that is required by this particular formula. Now simply we'll have to plug in these values in this particular formula and we can get the measure of skewness with the help of Bowley's coefficient of skewness method. So let's plug in the values in this particular formula Q3 plus Q1 minus 2m divided by Q3 minus Q1. So let me write the formula again. We have got the value of Q3 that is 47.5833. Let's write it. 47.5833 plus Q1 value is 33.7 minus median value is nothing but 41.1666 divided by Q3 that is 47.5833 minus Q1 value is 33.7. Now we'll simply have to calculate this. We will get 81.2833 as the addition of these two minus the second part calculation is 82.3332 divided by the subtraction of these two terms comes out to be 13.8833. Now, when we calculate the upper part, that is the numerator part, we get minus 1.0499 divided by the lower part is 13.8833. Now, when we divide this, we get the final answer, and the final answer is minus 0.07562. So, this is the measure of skewness that we have got with the help of Bowley's coefficient of skewness method. Now, you can observe one thing. This particular skewness value is negative. So, whenever we get the skewness measure as negative, we can state that the distribution that we have got, that is this particular given data, it is negatively skewed. Negatively skewed distribution is also termed as left skewed distribution. So, the given data is left skewed or negatively skewed. If you get the final answer as positive, then it is positively skewed or right skewed. But in our case, we got it negative. So it is negatively skewed or left skewed. So this is your final answer. I hope the entire steps of finding out the Bowley's coefficient of skewness measure is clear to you all. This is the most widely used method for finding out the measure of skewness. So it's most important method. I hope each and every step is clear to you all. If you guys have any single doubt, then you can straight away put it in the comment section. I'll be happy to solve it. If you guys want to watch technical memes as well as corporate memes, then you can straight away head to my Instagram page. I'll give you the link in the description box. Do check that. And for more such videos, do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also hit the bell icon and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Please join me on Telegram for clarification of any of your queries. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day ahead.